Have you ever felt exhausted, not just physically, but deep in your soul? You get enough sleep, but you still wake up tired. You take breaks, but they don't recharge you. It feels like something inside you is slowly draining away. The truth is, your energy isn't just lost, it's being stolen. And the worst part? You might not even realize it. The Stoics knew this long ago. They understood that certain habits, thoughts, and relationships silently drain your soul, leaving you weak, anxious, and lost. But here's the good news: once you identify these soul drainers, you can take back your power. In this video, we'll expose 5 hidden forces that are stealing your inner strength and, more importantly, how to reclaim it using timeless Stoic wisdom. Stay until the end, because this knowledge might just change your life. 1. The weight of complaints and negativity. Have you ever noticed how one small complaint can ruin an entire day? You wake up feeling fine, but then traffic is terrible. Your coffee isn't quite right. Someone at work says something irritating. Instead of brushing it off, you let it bother you. You complain in your head, then out loud. Soon, everything feels worse than it really is, and before you know it, your entire day is filled with frustration. Complaining is like carrying a heavy backpack. The more you do it, the heavier it gets. You start with one small complaint, then another, and soon, you're dragging around a weight that makes even the smallest problems feel unbearable. The Stoics knew this was a dangerous trap. Complaints don't change reality, they only drain your energy. Marcus Aurelius put it simply: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you complain, you give away that power. You focus on what's wrong instead of what you can control. And that's how negativity wins. But it gets worse. Complaining isn't just a bad habit, it rewires your brain. The more you focus on what's wrong, the more your mind starts searching for negativity. You become addicted to it. Instead of training yourself to handle difficulties, you train yourself to be upset. Even when things are going well, you'll still find something to be miserable about. And it's not just about you. Negativity spreads like wildfire. When you constantly complain, people around you either join in or start avoiding you. No one likes being around someone who drags them down. Instead of being a source of strength, you become a source of exhaustion for yourself and others. So, what can you do? First, pause before you speak. Before complaining, ask yourself, is this helping me? If the answer is no, let it go. Epictetus once said, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Complaining rarely makes anything better, it only makes you weaker. Second, focus on solutions. If something is bothering you, ask, can I fix this? If yes, take action. If no, move on. Wasting energy on something you can't change is like trying to empty the ocean with a spoon. Pointless and exhausting. And finally, train yourself to see what's good. Every day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. It sounds simple, but over time, it rewires your brain. Instead of automatically looking for what's wrong, you start noticing what's right. And when your mind shifts, so does your entire life. Complaints are chains. They feel like they give you relief, but they only hold you down. If you want to be free, stop feeding negativity. Lighten the weight. Let go of what you can't control. And watch how much stronger you become. 2. Emotional reactions to things you can't control. Imagine this: you're driving to work, and suddenly, someone cuts you off. Your heart races, your face heats up, and you feel anger rising inside you. Maybe you honk your horn, yell in frustration, or spend the next hour replaying the moment in your head. But here's the question, did any of that change what happened? No. The driver is already gone, living their life, completely unaware of your frustration. Meanwhile, you are the one suffering, trapped in anger over something that was never in your control to begin with. This is exactly what the Stoics warned us about. Most of our suffering doesn't come from events themselves, it comes from our emotional reactions to them. Epictetus put it best, it's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. You can't control other people. You can't control the weather, the economy, or sudden setbacks. But you can always control your response. The problem is, most people don't. They go through life reacting impulsively, getting upset, frustrated, or anxious over things they have zero power to change. They let external events dictate their mood, instead of mastering their own mind. Think about it. How many times have you let a rude comment, a bad day, or unexpected problems ruin your peace? How often do you waste energy being angry at things that are completely outside of your hands? Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, had to deal with wars, betrayal, and political chaos every day. Yet, instead of reacting emotionally, he reminded himself, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. So, how do you reclaim that power? First, pause before you react. The next time something upsets you, don't respond immediately. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, will this matter in a day? A week? A year? Most of the time, the answer is no. Second, redirect your focus. If something is out of your control, shift your energy to what you can control, your mindset, your actions, your attitude. Instead of complaining about the rain, bring an umbrella. Instead of stewing over a rude person, remind yourself that their behavior is a reflection of them, not you. And finally, practice emotional discipline. When you feel anger or stress rising, step back. Observe the emotion without letting it control you. Over time, you'll realize something powerful: no one and nothing can take your peace unless you let it. The world is chaotic. People will be rude. Plans will fail. Things will go wrong. But your mind? That's yours to control. And once you master it, you become unshakable. 3. Toxic relationships and negative people. Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling completely drained? Maybe it was someone who only talked about their problems, never asking how you were. Or someone who constantly criticized you, making you doubt yourself. Or worse, someone who masked their negativity as advice, always pointing out why your ideas wouldn't work, why your dreams were unrealistic, why you should just stay where you are. These people are emotional vampires. They suck the energy out of you, leaving you exhausted and demotivated. And the worst part? Most of the time, you don't even realize it's happening. The Stoics warned us about this long ago. Your environment shapes you. Seneca once said, associate with people who are likely to improve you. If the people around you are bitter, angry, or stuck in mediocrity, it will rub off on you. You might think you're strong enough to resist it, but negativity is contagious. Toxic relationships don't always look toxic at first. Sometimes, they come in the form of a friend who always needs you, but is never there when you need them. A family member who guilts you into doing things for them. A colleague who constantly complains but never changes. Over time, these relationships drain your soul, leaving you emotionally exhausted. The problem is, we often feel guilty about walking away. We think, but they've been in my life for so long, or what if they change? But ask yourself this, if you had a plant that was dying because of toxic soil, would you leave it there, hoping the soil changes? Or would you replant it somewhere better? The same applies to you. So, How do you protect yourself from toxic people? First, recognize who drains your energy. Pay attention to how you feel after spending time with someone. If you always feel worse, that's a sign. Second, set clear boundaries. You don't have to cut people off completely, though sometimes that's necessary. But you do have to limit how much access they have to your time and energy. Not every message needs a response. Not every invite needs an acceptance. Finally, surround yourself with people who make you better. As Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. And your thoughts are shaped by the people around you. Choose wisely. Life is too short to waste on those who hold you back. Walk away from negativity without guilt. Your peace is worth protecting. 4. Attachment to material things and external validation. Imagine you finally buy that expensive watch, the latest phone, or the designer clothes you've been dreaming of. For a moment, you feel accomplished, even powerful. But then, the feeling fades. You start looking for the next thing, the next upgrade, the next approval from others. Why? Because material things and external validation never bring lasting fulfillment. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, very little is needed to make a happy life, it is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Yet, in today's world, people measure success by wealth, status, and likes on social media, things that are always temporary, always outside your control. The problem with attachment to material things is that it puts your happiness in the hands of something you can lose. You feel successful when you drive a nice car, until someone else has a better one. You feel valued when people praise you until they forget about you. You feel worthy when you achieve something, until the feeling wears off, and you need another accomplishment to prove yourself again. This is the endless trap of external validation. You chase after approval, thinking it will finally make you feel complete. But the moment you get it, you realize, you need more. And suddenly, your happiness isn't yours anymore, it belongs to other people's opinions. Seneca warned against this when he said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." You are not free if your happiness depends on wealth, status, or validation from others. True freedom comes when you detach from these things. So, how do you break free? First, ask yourself, if I lost everything tomorrow, who would I be? If your self-worth is built on what you own or what others think, it's time to shift your mindset. Instead of focusing on having, focus on being. Be disciplined. Be kind. Be wise. These are things no one can take away from you. Second, practice gratitude for what you already have. Instead of obsessing over the next thing, recognize that happiness is found in appreciating the present moment. Epictetus taught, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. The less you need, the richer you become. Finally, live for your own values, not for applause. Let go of the desire to impress. The opinions of others are temporary, but the strength of your character lasts forever. Detach from materialism. Free yourself from the need for validation. Your worth is not in what you own, it's in who you are. 5. The fear of change and uncertainty. Change is inevitable. Yet, for most people, it is terrifying. You get comfortable in your routine, your relationships, your job. Even if things aren't perfect, at least they're familiar. But then life throws something unexpected at you, an opportunity, a loss, a shift in direction. And suddenly, fear takes over. Your mind races with questions. What if I fail? What if this isn't the right choice? What if I lose everything? You hesitate, overthink, and sometimes, you stay stuck not because you want to, but but because the fear of the unknown feels stronger than the pain of staying the same. The Stoics saw this fear for what it really is, an illusion. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Nothing in life is permanent. Holding on to what is comfortable doesn't stop change, it just makes it harder when it comes." Think about it. Every great thing in your life once felt uncertain. The friendships you cherish, the skills you've mastered, the moments that changed you, all of them started with a leap into the unknown. If you had let fear control you, you wouldn't be where you are today. But here's the truth, fear is never about the situation itself, it's about your attachment to what you know. You fear change not because it's bad, but because it's unfamiliar. But what if, instead of resisting it, you leaned into it? So, how do you overcome this fear? First, reframe how you see change. Instead of asking, "What if things go wrong?" ask, "What if this is exactly what I need?" Growth never happens in comfort. Every challenge, every uncertainty is a chance to become stronger. Second, focus on what you can control. You can't predict the future, but you can prepare yourself. Build resilience. Develop skills. Adapt quickly. The more capable you become, the less uncertain life feels. Lastly, accept that nothing is permanent, not even fear. Epictetus taught, "Don't hope that events will happen as you wish, but wish for them to happen as they do, and you will find peace." When you stop fighting change, you realize that every shift, even the painful ones, carries an opportunity. Life is unpredictable. You can resist it and suffer, or you can embrace it and grow. The choice is yours. Conclusion. Your soul is yours to protect. But every day, negativity, toxic people, material attachments, and fear try to steal it away. The truth is, you are not powerless. You don't have to let complaints, emotional reactions, or external validation control your life. You don't have to fear change. You have the power to choose. The Stoics knew this. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. So, stop letting these 5 things drain your soul. Let go of what you can't control. Protect your energy. Focus on what truly matters. Which of these will you start working on today? The moment you decide to take back your power is the moment you become unstoppable.